Oh my god, my fingers are on fucking fire.
Why, from all the guitar playing you've been doing?
No, much stupider. Much stupider. I made twice cooked pork.
Yeah.
And there's hot peppers in that. And I de-seeded them by hand because I'm an idiot.
Oh, yeah, that was stupid.
That was really dumb. It was
that
just
was stupid. Yeah.
I was just like, I was sitting there, I was like halfway through it, and I was like, this is dumb, but I'm like halfway through it, so I'm just like, there's no point in putting on a glove now. Like, I'll just keep going.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Man,
that was a mistake too.
Oh, it hurts. Oh, it's real painful. I'm just like putting them up next to my drink and like.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, you've contained it to just your fingers, though, right?
I have contained it to just my fingers. Yes, I did thoroughly wash them and ensure that like there would be no additional pain. But my God, like I'm having a bad time.
Yeah, no. I totally, I empathize. That sucks.
Yes, it's entirely of my own design. I mean, God, I really fucked up here, but.
No,
God,
yeah, it's actually
hurts.
funny because of stuff like that is the reason I now just slice the peppers with the seeds.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just going to slice them like they're fucking like going on top of nachos, no matter what I'm cooking.
So in this case, the only reason why I bothered to de-seed them, because I usually do not bother, is like I couldn't find the right kind of pepper, so I bought a hotter pepper than I'm really supposed to be using for this dish, and I was like, okay, so I do need to de-seed these because I was meant to be using whatever the fuck they're called, like the Chinese like long peppers, long green peppers, and I used like finger hots, which are like they're like long jalapenos and not the same pepper. So I was like, I better de-seed these, and also they were just really like full of seeds, like all the way, like from top to bottom. I was like, this is too much.
You got your fingers right in there.
Oh yeah, I know. I went to town. I really fucked myself.
Well, it'll pass soon. Just avoid touching anything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I did the tongue test. That's what I always do. I like touch them to my tongue, and like if it's hot, I'm like, okay, my fingers are still hot. But if that's okay, and I don't like burn my tongue off, I'm like, okay, these are safe fingers now. I can touch other substances.
That's
not
smart.
ruin my
That's
life.
smart.
Yeah. I mean, it's less smart if you're really bad with spice, because then your fingers and your tongue hurt. But like, I don't mind that. It's not a big deal for me. Shit, man. So what you been up to?
Not much. Getting ready for the Renaissance Fair next month.
Oh, exciting!
I think I might actually go in costume this time.
Oh, what are you gonna dress up as?
Just medieval. Buy some like linen clothing.
Nice.
Essentially, yeah.
Nice.
I started playing like liminal space maps in Gmod.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are fun.
Okay.
Just like backrooms style.
Yes.
Oh, I finally watched the whole Dollars trilogy.
The whole Dollars trilogy.
Yeah. Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more. Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Oh shit! I think the only one of that I've watched is The Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
It's the best one. It's really the only one you need to watch. Having watched all three now. But,
okay, so I'm not missing anything by not watching the other ones.
Yes. The first one is literally Yojimbo. Like they got sued successly. It's
like literally Yojimbo.
It's like literally that. Yeah, it's not like an homage or anything. It's like it's exact. And then a few dollars more was good. And then Good, Bad, the Ugly obviously is like amazing, actually.
Yeah. Okay. The second you said whatever you just said, the beginning of one of your albums, the Lake South came on. Believe you. I was like, oh my God, what is happening right now?
Yeah, for some reason my albums autoplay and yours don't. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know what? It's probably because I have autoplay set to off.
Yeah, and I have it set to on.
Yeah, and so it just defaults to like whatever you have chosen.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a very, very alarming move. But it felt slightly apropos because it was just kind of like, I don't know, there was like a sense of like what it was like something of gold, whatever that thing is. What's the name of the theme song for is it The Good, Bad, and the Ugly?
Oh God, I don't know what the name of it is, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. The
Ecstasy of Gold. Ecstasy of Gold.
Ecstasy of Gold, yes.
Yeah. There was a moment of just like, you said it, and I was just like, wait, Does Steven suddenly have theme music for when he talks? He just like starts talking, and then all of a sudden the just universe is just like, here's the theme song for what Steven's talking about right now.
We've entered the new age of the internet.
That would be magical, honestly. If like every time I started some like, you know, ridiculous tirade or whatever, like, you know, the music started to swell up in the background. I could get used to that. I could get used to that.
And on your recommendation, I watched Pluto.
Oh, hell, I was going to ask you about that. Okay. What do you think?
I mean, you know, I read the manga, so I was
unsurprised by what happened, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was, but I'd been so long that I had forgotten all of the major plot points, actually.
Okay.
So it was like oh shit, like, right, that's what this is about, pretty much. That was my experience. But it's amazing. I mean, obviously it's like a masterpiece.
Yeah. No, it's
so good.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those like where I was watching it and I was just like, this is like, you know, it's like Studio Ghibli levels of just like, oh, this is fantastic. You know, like it's clearly just like a gigantic movie instead of like a TV show. So it's
the exact opposite of like a regular Netflix show. It's like they had to squeeze in a bunch of stuff to 8 episodes instead of stretching it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It felt full. It felt like it was exactly what you just said, crammed in basically as much as they could.
Yeah, because there's just so much good stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you for recommending that / reminding me that.
Yes. Well, then I'll disappoint you. So actually, I'll really disappoint you. So I still haven't watched Shogun, which I know I need to do.
Oh, I mean, sure. That's, you know, Shogun's really good. But,
okay.
You know, if you never watch it, it's fine.
I will. I mean, so it's like I knew it was good, and you said it was good, and then I guess the parents got Disney Plus recently, and I knew it was on there, so I was like, oh, you guys should watch Shogun. So now they have watched it, and we're like, oh, it's really good. I'm just like, I am falling woefully behind here.
Yeah, it is.
Just terrible.
Speaking of good stuff you should watch. I don't know how you pronounce it. Kaos? I think it's probably Kaos.
Okay.
It's like it's ancient Greek mythology, but like modernized.
Okay.
So like it's not like set in the modern day, but it's ancient Greece with like modern technology.
Okay. Is it like Chaos with like a K?
Yeah, Kaos.
Yeah, Chaos. Oh, I would be willing to believe that that's Chaos.
It's got Jeff Goldblum in it. He's great.
What is it? Is it on Netflix?
Yes.
It's on Netflix. Okay.
Yeah. All right. It's great. It's fun. It's fun. It's, you know. Did you ever check out that show called The Dictator or The Tyrant? I think it's The Tyrant.
The Tyrant.
It's like she's like a female dictator in like a fictional, unspecified, you know, Eastern European country.
Okay. No, I don't even think I've heard of this.
Okay. Well, don't watch it. It's not very good.
Okay.
This is like a successful version of that show, but that doesn't really help you. But it's like, you know, it's that kind of like Zeus is like a dictator essentially of Greece.
Okay.
It's cool.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out. I mean, it's on Netflix. So there's actually a real chance that I will check it out.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
What about yourself?
Yeah. So, okay. Well, first of all, I do want to start out with this. So, I've been listening to the previous episode, and I am unsatisfied with where we left Death Grips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I was listening back to it. I was clearly very much struggling with like how to describe my feelings about Death Grips. And I ruminated on this for a while and realized that I do something with music that I don't do with other media. And I'm wondering if you do the same thing. Because, when I watch a movie, what usually happens is I watch the movie, and if it's a good movie, I go, that was a good movie. And then I never watch it again. And if I watch a TV show, and it's a really good TV show, I go, that was a really good TV show. And I might talk about it or something, but I never watch it again. And with video games, depending on the video game, some video games, like do bear a repeating. But if they're like a story-based video game or something like that, most of the time I play a video game, and by and large, I never play it again. But with music, if I listen to something and I don't want to add it to my life forever, then it's like basically a failure in my eyes.
Sure. Yes. I do not feel that way.
Okay, and this is a problem with me. Like, I have a very much like it's either I love it or it's just like I don't know what to do with it.
Garbage.
Exactly, and so like I and I realized something because Death Grips presented me with a problem because most of the music that I like to listen to, I like it to operate on 2 levels. is the first level is I like it to be good in the sense that like, you know, I'm like, oh, this is really good and interesting and I like all the things about it. But then I also like to be able to operate on a level where I could turn it on in the background and forget that it's there except for on a very subconscious level. And I have realized with Death Grips that it demands my attention.
Yeah.
Like when I listen to it, like I tried to listen to it in the background and then like would come on. I'd be like, oh fuck shit. Yeah. I'm like, okay, all right. Yes. Okay. You're right. Death Grips. You are right here. You know, it's like it's like a fucking like, it's like an angry chihuahua. It's like, you can't just put it off to the side and like have it. It's like, it's going to come at you.
Yeah.
So, and the when it's operating on the, it's good level, it's very good. Right. Mm-hmm. Like it's tremendous, but it doesn't operate on the, like, I can allow it to just kind of exist in the ether. And so it makes it difficult for me to want to like add it to my life. Like I would, if I had it on a playlist, I would be alarmed every time one of the songs came on. I'd be like, oh, fuck. Oh God. Mm-hmm. It's one of these things I feel like I have to intentionally be wanting to listen to versus something that I just generally want on my larger music playlist scope. So all this to say, I have, I feel like the same relationship to Death Grips, at least that album, as I do to something like Old Boy.
Sure.
It's like, wow, that's really good. Ooh, that was heavy. I don't need to watch that again.
Yeah, I would say there's lots of movies and TV shows, especially anime, that I put into that category of like, yes, I will never watch that again. But like, that doesn't make it not good. Mm-hmm. And you know, some music demands to be listened to, and I know there's some people who would probably even say that like music that can be ignored in the background is like not like, that's not even really listening to it at that point. Mm-hmm. Like that defeats the purpose of it.
Yeah,
I like listening to stuff in the background. I think everyone does ultimately, but like I think there's some people out there who would say something like that.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. But there's some music that's like, it's not, you know, it's not for being put on in the background for sure. Mm-hmm. Like Death Grips definitely, but like it's good driving music.
And see, that's the thing, because you said that last time, and I think it's like, it's for me, it's not that, right? Like, and I understand how it could be for some, and like there's music that I listen to that like people would be like, what do you mean you put that on in the background? I'm like, what do you mean? It's like they're just screaming as loud as they can. It's just white noise. It's fine, you know, like. Like that doesn't faze me. And like, I do also feel like if I was exposed to more music like Death Grips, that to the extent that even exists, or I just listen to more Death Grips more often, I feel like it would probably do that for me. But like, I mean, it's like some people watch horror movies for fun, right? Whereas like I find horror movies horrifying. And so like, you know, I don't exist on the same like spectrum as those people of like, oh, I would put a horror movie on in the background and it's like, haha, it's just like, you know, just a nice thing to have on. Whereas like for me, I'm like, no.
Yeah, I guess I would say like in a way that's a compliment, right? Mm-hmm. Like saying that like this cannot be put on in the background is like saying it's effective.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's what I wanted to come to, is because like I feel like we left it in a space of like, I'm not sure if I like this. And I think what I've realized is I just like this in a different way than I like most of the other music that I listen to.
Listen, as someone who has listened to or been made to listen to many, many, many things over my lifetime musically, there's lots and 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 lots of music.
Oh, yeah.
That I never want to listen to ever again in my entire life. But I would never call any of it bad, and I would go so far as to call most of it good. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't want to listen to, like, you know...
Tubular Bells?
No, actually, I like Tubular Bells.
Okay. I find Tubular Bells to be like, it insists upon itself, Steven. It insists upon itself.
You know, oh, God, it's been so long since I've thought of, like, electroacoustic artists and stuff. But, like, you know...
Yeah.
You know, variations on a paperclip.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Cool
I know what you mean.
Artistically, but not something you like, and not something you like that's pleasant to listen to in any sense, but intellectually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly, and that's where I think I landed with Death Grips. Ultimately, is like I was like, good doesn't I don't have a space for it in my life, but I like it.
Sure. Yeah.
So yes, Death Grips. I liked it. I just took me a long time to really, I mean, it was an interesting thing because I feel like I've done that at other times unknowingly during the course of this podcast. And it made me very aware that I was doing that because I was just like, there was like a very strong part of my brain that was like, you like this. And there was another strong part of my brain that was just like, I don't want to put this on.
Yeah. Now what will happen is like, 5-10 years down the line, you might find that your opinion's changed.
Oh, I know that there's so many albums that I used to love that I listen to now. I'm like, oh, that's a skip. That's a skip immediately. And vice versa, too. There's stuff that I used to listen to.
Vice versa, yeah. That's more what I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that I felt that was like totally unlistenable in a way that now I'm like, yeah, this is like a catchy beat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey,
I can tap my foot along to that.
Not to spoil later parts of this podcast, but I'll say something very similar in probably about...
I think I already
20
know
to 40 minutes.
I
think you know exactly.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking about. I expected it.
Yes, but before we get to that, so I finally finished the Elden Ring DLC.
Cool. Oh, nice. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so I did finish Radon pre, I guess, new nerf because there's been a new nerf to him.
You babies and your double nerfs. I beat him pre-nerf.
Yeah. snarf.
Original Radon.
I had to summon a guy.
Oh, yeah, same here. Yeah, I mean, no shame on that.
Oh, you also had to summon a guy?
Oh, God,
okay.
Yeah, of course. I summoned a guy who's using, like, the, ranged bloodthorn technique.
Okay.
We destroyed his ass.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I could not, I banged my head against a wall solo on him for, it's actually annoying, too, because it's like, now he doesn't bum rush you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it makes me kind of wish that I didn't, because I was like, I wonder, because like half of my attempts would just fail within the first couple seconds, because he would just bum rush me and I couldn't even summon. So like, I'm like, I wonder if I could beat him now, but like, fuck it, I'm not going to go play through the entire thing again just to do that.
No, dude, that second form is so fucking stupid.
Oh, it's bullshit. It's faux fucking bullshit. But yeah, okay, so Bale, I seriously overestimated his difficulty.
Yeah, not hard at all, actually.
No, he was actually not really. I mean, I think I beat him in like 2 tries after summoning what's his face, because I actually hadn't finished that guy's quest because I hadn't killed the 2 drakes, so he wasn't like summonable for me. So I went back and did that, and then I summoned him.
And then it's easy.
Egon, yeah. Were you able to? Because obviously you didn't summon your mimic or anything for that fight because you can't.
Oh, okay. You can't?
Oh, okay.
I summoned Egon. I don't remember if I had a mimic or not, honestly.
So can you summon a person and also your mimic? You can, right?
Because Egon is inside the arena, right?
Yeah.
So you can. Yeah, you summon your mimic and then you summon Egon, or you summon Egon and then your mimic, one of the two.
Okay. My game was glitched out. I couldn't summon for that fight at all. Huh. Like, I could summon Egon, obviously, but like I could not summon, like my mimic tier was like grayed out. Like I was not able to summon him, which was very annoying.
I'm pretty sure I summoned my mimic for that.
Okay. Long story short, I just beat me and Egon, so it was clearly not a difficult fight.
Yeah, so it's like he does trivialize it, but in a cool way. Mm-hmm. Did you kill the dragon before Egon?
I don't remember if I did. I don't know if I did.
That was the harder fight for me, for sure.
I generally avoid the dragons. Like, I don't find those fights to be particularly satisfying in a lot of cases, because it's like
they drop the maximum tier stone.
Okay.
And I was just doing a lot of weapon upgrades. That's the only reason I fight them. I usually also avoid them. But
yeah,
because I realized they dropped that, I was like, ooh, gimme.
Yeah, I see a dragon, I generally like, I'll just go somewhere else. I don't need to be here. This is fine. But vastly underestimated how much of the map I had actually explored, because even though I had gotten all of the maps, I was like, wait a second, there are a lot of areas that I haven't seen. I'm like, I'm looking at that. I'm like, I have this map, but I know that I haven't gone there. So what gives? So yeah, and in fact, even after I thought I had seen everything, I completely did not see the whole, whatever it's called, like where, the one lady is, the flower lady, whatever her name is.
No. Oh, you mean the sleep.
Yeah, the sleepy flower lady. Yeah, that whole area
lady.
Didn't even realize that I had missed it because it's like off in the corner.
No, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, did that fucking the whole, what was the whole thing with the, what was the one area? Oh, the whole area with like the church, like the one lady, like, you know, and her sister underneath like the chapel like with all the fingers.
With the fingers. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. I love her armor. It's so fucking cool.
Yes, her armor is very cool. And her summon is very cool, too, because you can get both of them, I think.
Well, I thought you had to pick one or the other. Oh, no, you're right. You can get her summon. I think I got her weapon. I think
it becomes
I ended
like
up
a
getting
dual
her
summon or something.
Yeah, I think I got her weapon instead, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I've done it on multiple characters, so I just did both.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, DLC, fucking great, man. Holy shit. Like, you know.
Yeah, better than the base game, honestly.
Yeah, you know, I mean, okay. Like, I like that they did the open world thing because it was a good thing to try. I would not be mad if they didn't make the next one open world.
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't need to be open world.
Yeah, and like I think that the way that the DLC was set up was perfect, of like smaller quote unquote open world, but like, you know, you have like, so you still have some freedom of like, I want to go here or there, which I mean you do have in Dark Souls.
Yeah. It's like Dark Souls is essentially open world. It's just a very small open world.
Yeah, and I guess it's like slightly bigger open world than that.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's the right level.
Yeah, I mean it was almost like an entire. It was almost like Dark Souls up to Anor Londo. Like that was like the size of it, which is bananas huge for a DLC.
Yeah, and that's the good part of Dark Souls.
And it's the good part. Yeah, yeah. It took me, I think I actually finished Dark Souls like, I don't know, 6 years after the first time I started a character, because I was like, you know, I should finish this game. I've never actually finished it. I've always just gone to Anor Londo and stopped. So maybe I should actually finish the rest of the game.
That is the best part, though, for sure.
It is the best part. But yeah, other than that, fucking, you know, just watched a shit ton of anime as usual. Okay, I will say this. So Jobless Reincarnation, new season came out.
Sure.
I know you stopped watching it because it's just the most HE bullshit ever.
It's so disgusting.
Okay. I think it might be worth jumping back in.
I've been trying to get into it.
Because the latest season is like, you know how, and you probably don't remember. I remember because we were literally just talking about it from my perspective since I was just finishing listening to it. But you know how Irregular at the Magic High School, they toned it way down this last season?
Yes.
They toned it way down this last season. Like,
yeah, no, I heard that. Yeah,
okay.
But I would still want to watch
the rest of it.
The lead up to the rest of it.
Yeah, I know. It's tough because it's like, I mean, it's so gross.
Yeah. I've given up trying to do season 1, and I've tried just starting on season 2, but I just feel so lost. And I don't care about anything that's happening, and so I need to figure out the right way to enter into that series. But I want to like it. I really bounce off it hard.
I know. It's like it's I mean, we've talked about this. It is the best isekai, except for it's also the grossest isekai.
It's so gross.
It's fucking gross.
I guess grossest isekai maybe, but I mean, you know, Goblin Hunter or whatever exists. But like, yes, yeah, sure.
You know, okay. I will say, I feel like Goblin Slayer.
Okay, sure. Okay, let's not use Goblin Slayer as an example then.
Okay, yeah, because I feel like it did, like after the first episode, they dialed it back.
Yes.
Like they had the shock value, and then they kind of like rolled you back. Like it actually ends up being a pretty okay, if not, you know.
Yeah, I retract.
Yep.
I substitute redo of healer. I don't think you'll have any complaints about that one.
I don't think I've actually seen that one, probably because it's trash.
Great, avoid it. Yeah,
I will. I you know, after you taught me about MyAnimeList, I've learned a lot about how to avoid trash.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah, how has that affected your anime watching?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know because like I don't know what I would have not watched as a result of it. Although I will tell you that I did ignore it on one occasion, and I think that if you follow the same ethos, you should too, because I watched Revenger, and I don't know if you watched Revenger.
Anything above a 6 is a potential good anime.
Oh, you go above. Okay, I always go above a 7.
7 is like, okay, ooh, I'm gonna say some words here. It's the cleanest way for me to say it, but like, yeah, above a 7 is like, you know, where the normie good animes start.
Oof.
I know. It was painful. Yeah.
Oof.
But like, there's some good stuff in 6, but it's just weirder in the 6 category.
So have you watched Revenger?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. I don't know why it has like a 6 point something. I don't get it. Like, I don't know what people didn't like about it, because for me, it's like edging up to an 8 in terms of goodness. Like, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. Like, I was, like, because I watch a lot of anime where it's just like, okay, right, yeah, we're watching this thing. Like, yeah, we're watching this thing. Like, I was compelled the whole way through Revenger. I was like, this is great. Like, it's got a story that like builds on itself, and it's got interesting characters, and I'm just like, why did this get a 6 point something? So
It's a 6.6. That's pretty good.
yeah, but I mean, like, it's not I would argue it is not a 6 points. I would argue it's closer to like a 7.6 and maybe bordering like 7.8.
But it probably doesn't have a lot of like anime tropes in it, right?
Yeah, I would say it doesn't have a lot of anime tropes in it.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, okay. So people
people like those things. I know, it's crazy.
Okay, so people are fucking trash. Okay,
yeah, people are trash. Yeah, that's why 6 is still good. It's still good because like there's people who are rating it badly.
I didn't even
because it is good.
You said downvote. I was just like, I let it. I was like,
yeah, you did.
Yeah, downvote. Yeah, obviously that's what you do. You downvote.
People rate it low because they're like, this doesn't have enough like fan service in it, and it's like, great. Like now I know to watch that thing.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So yeah, any other?
Well, so it's funny though. So like that was a 6 something, and I was like, okay, I don't get this at all. We also watched Metallic Rouge.
Oh, okay. Another one I haven't heard of.
I get why that's a 6. The writing is really bad. It's
Metallic Rouge.
I actually thought it was going to be more of like a Ghost in the Shell type of thing, and it wasn't really that. And the writing is also just like, it's like David Cage levels of writing. So, it's schlock. I don't think it was good. It was fine, but like I found that it was just like, it had a really unsatisfying ending, and there's a lot of plot holes, and the writing was just like, the dialogue was just bad, and I was just like, okay. We watched the whole thing because it was fine, but like that was the extent of it.
Yeah, interesting.
But what was fantastic? Kaiju number 8.
Oh yes, I love Kaiju number 8. Yes.
Oh god. Okay, but I have to say though, it is very funny to me that like production IG or studio IG or whatever, like, they finally like removed the lodestone that was Attack on Titan from around their neck, and then they made an anime about giant monsters attacking where the main character turns into one of the giant monsters. I'm just to
be fair, they didn't make it, they picked it.
Yeah, it's like, are you guys tired of this? Like, why?
No, they're good at it.
They are good at it, man.
They were like, wait, what's something else with giant monsters where the main character turns into a giant monster? Oh, look, Kaiju number 8.
Oh, I mean, they do nail it. And also the one fucking guy looks exactly like Commander Levi or whatever. And I'm just like, he's got the bowl cut. And I'm like, Studio IG. Like, come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched the anime. Is the anime good?
Oh god, dude, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's so good. You should watch the anime. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I've read the manga, but
yeah, I always have to check. I should always check when you say like, oh yeah, that's good. I'm like, but have you seen the anime?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A lot of times I have not. It's reading manga is so much faster.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, that's the thing that they're drawing from. I guess like, I feel like there are some things that lend themselves to being an anime more so than others, yes. Like any of the slice of life stuff, it's like you just read the manga. Like, yeah,
I was just gonna say, you can tell when like a manga artist is drawing something to be animated. Like, and Kaiju number 8 was one of those where it's like, yeah, this guy wants an anime to be made out of this for sure.
Yes. No, I mean it's. I watched it. I was just like, yes, this is something that I needed in my life. And the only other thing, well, I mean, we watched a couple other like trash shows, but like we watched all Black Butler.
Oh, nice! Wow, all of it.
Oh yeah. That was good. Black Butler's fantastic.
Yeah, Black Butler's very good. I've not watched all of it, but
it's a weird one, man, because it's like they you have like the first season, and it's like the show, and then it ends. And then they do that second season, which is, I guess, apparently entirely non-canon, just a fucking giant OVA. And then that ends. And then it's like, then they just restart at season 3. They're like, here's basically almost from the beginning. It's like, I think it's from like, maybe like, I don't know, 10 episodes in from season 1. They just basically are like, just forget about it. Just don't worry about it. Like, you'll figure it out. It's fine.
Wow.
It's so good, though. Holy shit. Fucking excellent. But yeah, man. So yeah, just
Watching some good stuff.
yeah, just video games and anime. I haven't really had much time for much else.
I guess you've been playing the new Warhammer game.
I have not yet because I think, from what I understand, there's supposed to be like they sort of like kind of early accessed it a little bit, because I understand there's going to be more content soonish or something. And also they widescreen support, like ultra widescreen support, isn't in yet. So, and because I have an ultra wide now,
of course you need that.
I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna it was very painful to have to play Elden Ring letterboxed, because like
I'm sure
it's just like, okay, if I'm not going, like, this game is a spectacle, in a lot of ways, and so I'm definitely going to be ensuring that I get the full spectacle on the entirety of my screen. So yes, I do want to play it, because I loved the first Space Marine, and everything that I see from this new one, it gets me so stoked, but I have not played it yet. I will. And actually the other thing, I am up to Pyramids in Discworld. So I finished Weird Sisters, which was just Shakespeare, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, of course.
It was just fucking King Lear and fucking Macbeth, and it was great, and I loved it. And now I'm reading Pyramids, which I guess is like Thief plus Pharaohs. Yes, I'll have to report back. I'm only like 20 pages into it, so like I literally just started reading it. Yeah. No, I'm into Discworld now, man. I have got the Discworld bug.
Yeah. I have to catch up.
Yeah, well, send more books. Well, shit. Shall we talk about some albums?
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it, man. All right.
Yeah.
So, why don't you hit me with what you recommended?
All right. So I recommended Act 1, The Lake South, The River North, by The Deer Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Not Deer Hunter, by the way. The Deer Hunter.
Does make an important difference, yes.
Yeah, Deer Hunter is a totally separate band.
Yes.
Easy to confuse it. And then I recommended, what is even the name of this fucking album? Chaser by Femtanol.
Yes. And why did you recommend these albums?
Oh, yes. Why did I recommend The Deer Hunter? I
remember you recommended that. Okay, so I did remember to check this beforehand, because I failed you last podcast, but I'll hit you with this. So we were saying that the vocalist for Dance Gavin Dance sounded a little bit like The Deer Hunter at some points.
Yeah, okay, sure. They're a band. I really liked this album, 10, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to see if it held up, and that other reason as well.
Yes, got it.
And then I recommended Chaser by Femtanol, because it's a rare opportunity that I get to recommend an actual album by someone that I'm listening to actively, like currently. Usually albums are from like past, because I don't really listen to albums that much.
Yeah, fair.
So this was like, I was like, oh, Femtanol actually like has a recent album with songs on it that I like. Great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then yourself?
Yes. So I recommended two albums, Souvlaki by Slowdive and Loveless by My Bloody Valentine, which are both, like 90s, like classic shoegaze albums.
Yes, I remember you wanted to give me an education.
Yes, I wanted to hit you with the because, we've talked about shoegaze for a long time, and I've always had a picture in my head of what shoegaze meant. Until I went back and listened to old shoegaze bands, I was like, "Oh, that's different from what I thought shoegaze was."
Yeah, they're also the like original genre makers almost. So.
Oh yeah, this is the invention and subsequent death of shoegaze, because it was a very short-lived thing.
Yes.
And so Loveless by My Bloody Valentine is considered the best album of like that period. It was like the album that killed shoegaze, basically, because it like everybody was like, after they made it, everybody was kind of trying to make it as well and failing, and then the whole genre fell apart. And then Souvlaki is actually one that was like really kind of like panned at the time, but then ended up like in retrospect being considered one of the greatest ones of the time, because it was doing something a lot different, which I think kind of lends itself much more towards like dream pop, which is where like shoegaze kind of ended up going, like, because long story short, not to get too far into it before we even talk about these, but like dream pop and shoegaze started to kind of like merge, And this was kind of like at the tail end of like, okay, we're getting like shoegaze has almost completely become dream pop at this point, and now dream pop just kind of is the thing that continues on. So yes, figured those were good bookends to this, like, you know, shoegaze in the 90s, what the fuck was it discussion.
Interesting.
Yes. So
cool.
I vote we start with Chaser.
Okay, sure. It should be quick.
You know, you say that, but like it's still got 6 tracks, and I have enough to say. It is short though.
Great.
I mean, it's 13 minutes. Like
yeah.
I was like, wow, this is fucking short. But okay, let me just start. Let me just start here.
Yeah.
This is an album that before this podcast, I would not have understood and would have trashed out of hand. So,
of course,
like no chance that I would have had any appreciation for this. But dude, this fucking rules, man. This is so good.
yeah. This is like on the edge kind of shit. It's great.
It's just, oh god, it's so good. Like this first track, I love what she's doing with like the beat, because it feels like all the instruments are like offset by like an eighth note. And so it's like, you know, like the first 2 come in, it's like do 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 do, you know, like do 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 do, and then what's the next? And it feels like it just kind of rolls. It's like these 3 beats just kind of like rolling forward, and it's just like I was immediately captivated. Like I was like when I started this, I like stopped it and went back. I was like, wait a second, did I just hear what I thought I was hearing? Like that's a really cool way to just intro into the beat.
Wait, okay, intro into the beat. So this happens like early in the song.
It's like the very beginning of the song. It's like because it starts out like do do do,
yeah.
and then they add a second do 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 do, and then I have to listen to this again. Yeah, and then it's like, and then like the little bass note comes in. It feels like it just comes in just like a little bit before. It's like do 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 do. Yeah, it just feels like everything is just slightly offset from everything else, and it just creates this like weird rolling kind of. I don't know how to describe it.
No, I completely like understand what you're talking about with the rolling. I'm just the like I never like noticed that's how it was done essentially.
I'm so deep, man. I'm so deep into this producer world.
I love to hear the terms for it, because I'm just like, you know, I'm just vibing. It's just like, yeah, like, this sounds fucking great.
It sounds fucking. And then the fucking vocal.
Yeah, this is what you want. This is what you want. This is what you want. Yeah,
and like the way that like she breaks up the just blasts out the distortion.
Yeah, man, I'm a sucker for blowing out the bass.
And like, okay, you know, back in like the first mixtape you made, you had that one like it was like the Gautier Guts remix. Fucking.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is like the version of that that's done competently.
Yeah, no, Femtonol is hilariously good. I like whoever they are, whatever their deal is. I'm sure it's just on their Wikipedia page, but like I never actually looked at it. But they're great. Like it always wants to think that I'm trying to search for fentanyl, and it's
of course, always.
I assure you, I'm not searching for fentanyl. Google.
Yes. Google's like, are you sure? You might be.
Are sure you don't want some fentanyl? It's like, no, I don't. It's like, oh, do we know who fentanyl is?
Yeah, she's a person that exists.
She's a person that exists? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I feel like there's like some pictures of her online.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm just...
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, like, the distortion use in this first song, like, it's tastefully chaotic.
Yes, that's a great way of putting, I think, of most of their songs.
Like,
tastefully chaotic.
Tastefully. It's like this album, it sounds like a cry for help. but done in like the most artistic way possible.
Yeah, no, it's so raw, but it's done, you know, I think we've had this discussion before, but like it's professionally done rawness.
Yeah, it's, you know, cuz like, you know, like the Guts remix, right? Like anybody can just crank up the distortion and like clip the limiter and whatever, and like yeah, I mean, yeah, you can do that, right? And this is doing the same thing, but it's doing it in a way that's like, you're not just cranking all the knobs up and like, you know, letting Jesus take the wheel.
Yes.
Like, because I mean, even that part where like, you know, right at like 40 seconds or whatever it is, is it 40 seconds? Have I got that
where
right?
It truly busts out.
Yeah. Like, I mean, because it's cutting out, right? Like it's actually, I mean,
but they're doing that cutting out like manually.
I mean, yeah, like whatever. Yeah, it's like there's clearly like there's intentionality to how it's cutting out. It's not just like that's not a thing that just happens. Like it doesn't just happen like that, you know. Like that's something that somebody has intentionally crafted into the music, and it's like it's rhythmic too, and it's so nice. Like it's like, oh my god. So yeah, this first track is incredible. It's actually criminal that it has fewer plays than the second track, Pet.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because Pet,
yeah, well, you know,
like Pet is good, but it's kind of it's like I've heard this.
Yes.
Like,
oh yeah, no, for certain. Yeah.
Like this is like I don't know what the exact genre is, but like this is something that like is evocative of something that I have heard before.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's like hardcore electronic or something, or just hardcore potentially. Yeah. Something like that. But yes.
I mean, you know, because of the vocals, it might be like kawaii core or something. I don't know. Like
core. I don't. Yeah. Thankfully, yeah, this is nowhere close to kawaii core. That's the scary thing.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have actual anime girls like doing the vocals, then it's not kawaii core. But
exactly. You know, Pet is definitely just, you know, here.
Yeah, but I mean, again, you know, solid use of distortion. It sounds good.
Pet.
But push your temper. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then
You know what this sounds like to me? This sounds like crazy Graham Cartner music.
Oh, interesting.
That's the first place my mind went. I was just like, oh, this sounds like fucking Obsession with Kit, you know, but like in like crazy psycho mode. And the vocals on this are so good.
Yeah, I'm just bobbing my head to it right now.
I'm literally doing the same. If there was a supercut of just like us together, like we'd probably be doing the exact same thing at this moment.
There's bobbing the head. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is like the entire time when I listen to this, like I would just sit here and just like rock out like for the whole album. I'm like,
the best high energy listen.
But yeah, like I don't know, like this, like her vocals on this sound so fucking unhinged. It's so good.
Yeah, and the beat is just like the
yeah,
just it's very driving.
Oh god, I couldn't be in the car with this. I would go to jail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would just crash the car.
Yeah, exactly. Just wrap it around a tree.
Yeah, I would just be in a guardrail somewhere.
No, I honestly, like, on this album, I came, even though Act Right, I think, was doing a really interesting thing in its intro, like, I played the shit out of this song. Like, I mean, I fucking, like, if this was a vinyl, I would have worn the grooves off. Like,
yeah.
In the 13 minutes that this album takes, we're probably just going to listen to the entire thing and talk about it.
Because next is Katamari, and that is, like... might be the best song on the album.
Oh, so you go with Katamari. Interesting.
Well, what would you go with?
Oh, I'd go with Push Your Temper.
Oh, Push Your Temper. Interesting. Okay.
Yo,
I have
yeah.
two, but it's not Push Your Temper. It's this and Girl's Hell or Girl Hell.
Really?
Yeah, I really like Girl Hell.
Interesting. Okay, for me, it's Act Right, Push Your Temper, and Murder Everyone You Know.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. See, well, there you go. Yeah, they're all so good.
So what's the thing that grabs you on this one?
Well, I think this is the first one I ever listened to, so that helps.
Okay.
But like the vocals on it,
you're Katamari.
Like yeah,
they are great. I do like that about them.
Yeah, Katamari.
Oh, that Katamari. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. The part like around like 50 some odd seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. I'll give you that. Oh, the scream. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's funny. Okay, it's because this one comes after Push Your Temper. I sometimes kind of like don't pay as much attention to it as I should.
Yeah, and then the end is so like after like at like 150.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is like such a Steven loves this kind of thing.
It feels like a car is like burning out.
I mean, yeah, it sounds like the end to that one Amazur song.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
just unhinged screaming, which I mean, I'm down for. You know. Yeah.
And it's like they're screaming not only in the foreground vocals, but also in the background vocals at the same time. It's layered screaming.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, this is...
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, the album art is like a person with like a cleaver in their head.
Yeah. And the fucking battery with the sparks.
Car battery, yeah.
Oh, I love, too. I love like the heavy breathing after this. It's like... yeah. so good. But no, I really like Murder Everyone You Know. You know... What Taki Has Died has added something to this, I believe.
You know, it does bring a different energy.
This is much more like trap, I feel like.
Yeah, it's still good though.
Yeah, well, I think I like trap music. I think I mean, I certainly use a shit ton of like trap hi-hats in my own music, so like I think that I like it to some degree.
Yeah, no, I mean it's fucking catchy as shit. This like the vocal like hook.
Yo, yeah. Trap, I mean, I guess because it is associated somewhat with like drifting and stuff like that. It's like it feels like drift music. I know funk is also associated with that, but like I do feel like trap music like has a certain like, oh, I'm drifting in a car. Yeah. So, like I feel like it should be on the soundtrack for fucking whatever the hell it's called, Fast and the Furious or whatever.
Yeah, let's put this in a Fast and the Furious movie.
Should be. God, there's so much good screaming on this.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. It's like it's still so fucking heavy despite being so smooth.
Yeah. No, I mean like my reaction to this, 5 years ago or whatever, or even 3 years ago, shit, honestly, like would have been like, oh, this is just like this is just over distorted nonsense. But it's like no. There's over distorted nonsense by accident, and there's over distorted nonsense on purpose.
Yeah, it's like they're using the distortion as like a bass drum.
God, it's
yeah, so good.
No, this is really good.
Yes, I was very happy when I saw they'd released the full album because no one I listen to ever does that.
Yeah, it is tricky.
Yeah, they're always just EPs, like 1 or 2 songs at a time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's amazing we got 13 minutes out of this.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because who knows how long it takes them to produce one of these songs.
Oh, yeah, they do feel dense.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, and then Girl Hell, which I love the intro of because it, like, really takes you when it transitions.
So much screaming. I love it.
Yeah, this might be, I don't know, this one feels like the most unhinged song, maybe, on the album.
See,
to me.
The reason why I say push your temper, right, is because like Girl Hell is just somebody screaming at you, whereas like Push Your Temper feels like one of those people that's like their eyes are like really wide, and they're talking to you. You're just like, oh, I'm in danger.
Yeah, no, I mean, Push Your Temper might be like, it's way less aggressive.
It's aggressive, but it's got that kind of like there is a greater amount of potential energy to it.
Yes. Yeah. Whereas Girl Hell is very one note.
Yeah, Girl Hell is just like, I am screaming at you, whereas like Push Your Temper is just like, if I don't get out soon, I'm going to get stabbed. I'm going to get stabbed by somebody that's smiling at me, like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah. But I do love Maximum Energy.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like, this is a good release on the album because it is just huge.
Yeah, and then it's done. You can just
breathe. Yeah, I mean, this album is just like, it comes and it goes. It's just like, but it feels, you listen to the whole thing, it's like, oh, okay, this is a lot.
Yeah, it's like, it's a short amount of time, but I feel winded.
Uh-huh. But see, we talked about this earlier in the podcast. It's like, I despite this being so intense, I have the right relationship with this where like I'm like, oh yeah, I can push this into like this can be like,
oh yeah,
playing online chess as well as it could be like, oh, I'm critically listening to this type of thing.
Yeah, this definitely can be background music for sure.
Yeah. You reach a certain threshold of intensity and it like hits the other side of the bell curve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No. This was, I was, when I saw this, right, because I was like, oh, 13 minutes EP, I was like, okay, this is going to be a throwaway. Not a throwaway.
Yeah, this was the main course, basically. The other one was kind of the throwaway.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because it's like, I mean, this is like, I like this a lot.
Yeah. This is what I'm listening to right now. Like, this is my active listener, basically, is stuff like this.
Well, fucking rules, man.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Yeah.
Gotta find more of these artists need to make actual albums so that you can like recommend them, or just put together a giant mixtape of a bunch of stuff you're listening to.
Another mixtape, yeah.
Then
I don't want to submit you to another like hour and a half mixtape.
Hey, look, when you do only one of them, it's not a big deal. You know?
We have to just do one at a time.
We do one at a time. That's what we settled. After the first mixtape, we definitely settled on if you do a mixtape, we only do one.
Yeah, just do the one.
Yes. Excellent.
Do I want to talk about one of your albums now?
Yes. Okay. So I do feel like my 2 albums want to be talked about together. You want to do those now and then end with Lake South River North?
Sure.
Let's do it that way then.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Where do you want to start?
Souvlaki.
Let's start with Souvlaki. All right.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I definitely felt, if we're going to talk about these together, I'll say I've definitely felt like this was the weaker of the 2 albums to me. But I liked both of them.
Okay.
Obviously, I'd heard Loveless a long time ago.
Okay. It is a classic album. I feel like
I'm familiar with My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
And Loveless. It's obviously a classic. It's great. Souvlaki is definitely what you were saying about dream pop. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's definitely the more calm album. And I also there's two vocalists for the band, I think, right?
Yes, correct.
And I like one of them way more than the other one.
Okay.
Not that the other one is bad, but I like the female vocalist better just because I like female vocalists better.
Yeah, and she's like
really good.
She's really good.
She's really good. And so anytime their song is like heavy on her, it's like, oh yeah, this is great. And then some songs don't even have her really at all. And it's like, oh, dude, get her back on the mic, like ASAP, come on.
It's like, you need to go away.
Yeah. But yeah, this is, it's almost like the production is the main instrument.
Yes.
It's crazy. And so yeah, we start, so the first song is Allison, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good. This one is a very heavy on him. And that's essentially, I'm going to divide most of these tracks.
So yeah, it's like anytime he's singing,
It's like, well, it's just like, I don't know. When he sings, I feel like I've heard this kind of music before.
Yes.
It's like, it's good. It's like the production is beautiful. Like it does feel very dreamy and like chill. And I love when it comes in, but it's, he sounds almost like the Pillows guy a little bit.
I could see that. Yeah. I mean, it's a very like, late 80s, early 90s Brit pop, just kind of like, like early Radiohead, any, of fucking, I mean, I don't know. There's Oasis, I guess, like probably a lot of that shit. Like he's got a certain delivery that is just like, okay, yes, very indicative of a certain period of British rock bands of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's a good, he does kind of sound like he's doing Beatles, like a weird Beatles impression.
Oh yeah. I could see that. Like a little bit. Yeah. A little kind of
a very weird Beatles impression.
I didn't pick up on that, but now that you said it, I can't hear it.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Interesting.
It's like, I'm the Beatles, but I'm on Benzos. I took too much Ambien.
All right, everybody, wrap it up. We got a title: Beatles on Benzos. That's the title. That's the title for this one. That's obviously the title. Dude. I mean, you don't always get a title, but when you get a title, you get a fucking title. I mean, like, fucking shit, man. Jesus.
So when I also listened to this album second.
Okay.
Because I listened to Loveless first because I was like, okay, I'm just going to, I know what this is. Let me just listen to it because I'm going to love it.
Yep.
And then I listened to this, and this first song, I was like, okay, like, was this just like a throwaway pick? But then, we move into Machine Gun, obviously.
Oh, God, her voice on this is so good.
Yeah, which is way better.
And I love so, I mean, when we talk about shoegaze and we talk about like the whole like looking at your feet, lots of like effects and stuff. I mean, Machine Gun with like the fucking like slow, like I think this is a phaser is what this is, but like, whatever that effect is, like,
yes,
it's just like, it's this kind of shit that people were talking about of just like layered, dreamy ass fucking music.
Yeah, just like the drummer is falling asleep in the back. Yeah, but just like her vocal work really just like, it's a whole nother layer to the dreaminess. And it's so good. And then, where is it? There's a point somewhere in this song. Yeah, like 2 minutes. Okay, yeah, basically 2 minutes. Maybe a little before. It like, okay, I guess 150. That's where I didn't write as good notes for this podcast. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
But like, it goes from like kind of normal production back to like the like dream production. There's a very like notable transition right there.
Yeah, no, I hear it.
Yeah, and then the rest of the song kind of carries that like off and on. It's just so good.
One thing that I'll say in general about this versus Loveless is I feel like these are much more like traditional song structure versus what's going on in Loveless.
Sure. Yeah. This does. Yes.
It's got like a chorus verse. It
is a rock song. Yes.
Yeah. Because like I picked up on something that I think is real that's happening in Loveless that doesn't happen in this. So when we get to it, I'll talk about it. But like, I feel like this very much is a chorus verse type of structure.
Yeah.
And I don't think Loveless is doing that necessarily, or they're doing it in a weird way.
No, Loveless is fucking weird. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Oh god, no. So I liked when I first listened to this album, I liked Allison, but I fell in love with this at Machine Gun because I mean I love fucking Beach House, man. Like, you know, and this is like proto Beach House. This is what this is Dream Pop before Dream Pop really like you know became the main course of all of this 90s like washy distortion kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah, this to me is what Nirvana sounds like in my head. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like this is like quintessential 90s music, but even though I know it's not that at all.
Okay. I mean, I know I guess I can understand what you mean because like for me Nirvana is like
completely different. Obviously.
Well, it's very aggressive, so that's not where my mind goes, but I know why you would think that because this has a very 90s sound to it.
Yeah,
and so does
it's
Nirvana,
so 90s.
Obviously.
Yeah,
it's very 90s,
and it's like I don't know. Shoegaze is weird because like you're saying Nirvana is aggressive, and it is obviously more aggressive than this. But like this is still really aggressive music. It just has that like slow like drone behind it that makes it feel slow. You know what I mean? But like they're jamming on these songs.
I think we're using the word aggressive in different ways.
Okay, sure. Maybe you mean the vocals and like the lyrics.
Yeah, like because Nirvana like is like because this is chill, right? It's not like it's up tempo. I mean, like it's not up tempo really either. But like there is clearly
Machine
rock
Gun isn't,
happening.
But like
in
the next
this.
song is, for instance, like 40 Days is pretty up tempo.
Yeah, like it's rock, right? Like this is very
rock,
clearly
exactly.
rock.
Yes.
But no, I mean, like Nirvana has like an edge to it that is obviously. I mean, this is you know like I don't know what are the words that I could probably use to describe this. Is just like kind of like I mean sad, obviously.
I
Like,
guess
this
what I
whole
really
album
mean is this really sounds quintessentially 90s to me.
yeah. A certain element of the night. I mean, like, you know what some of this stuff reminds me a lot of early Radiohead.
Sure. Yes.
And I think Radiohead
That
owes
also.
some amount to shoegaze, you know, like
Oh, for sure.
because like when was Radiohead really coming onto the scene? Well, radio is earlier, but I feel like some of the stuff that they were doing. Well, I mean, yeah, I say that, but like
Not really.
their first real album was 1991. And I feel like some of their later stuff really started to like pick up what shoegaze was doing and take it to a more logical conclusion, to what you talk about when you talk about shoegaze.
Yes. Yeah, modern like 2000 shoegaze.
Yeah, I feel like Radiohead picked up a lot of that stuff and ran with it. So, like if I imagine where the shoegaze movement would have gone, like as like a genre, I imagine it going much more in a Radioheady direction than anything else.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yes, I loved Machine Gun.
Yeah.
And then 40 Days is a much more active, very rocky. This one got a good beat to it.
Yeah, like this feels like it would be played in an arena.
Yeah, but it's got some like that middle part with the guitar, the like I don't know what you call it, around like 110 starts I guess a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called, but that. That sound.
Yeah. Well, and like it's funny too, because it's like this sound, and I feel like even more so this album than Loveless, like because the not death metal, the black metal bands like Death Heaven and stuff like that picked up this sound. And that's where we get like the, black gaze. It's like the black metal shoegaze stuff. They really picked up that particular noise, that like really washy, tremolo picked, distorted.
Yeah, it's a good noise.
Yeah, and it works surprisingly well for black metal. Like even when you play it in the same kind of way where it's like sort of like semi-happy sounding, like it sounds really good for black metal.
It sounds like wind howling through the trees.
Yeah, all you just have to do is just scream over it instead of like, like
you're so right.
Yeah, and Death Heaven really like was like the big act in that of just like, what if we just do shoegaze? And it's funny too because they are a shoegaze band now. Like their latest album doesn't even have screaming anymore. They're just a shoegaze band.
Yeah, it happens eventually.
It was actually how I got onto this whole thing because I was listening to I was like, oh, there's a new Def Heaven album. I'm like, this is just shoegaze. I'm like, now I kind of want to listen to old shoegaze. Fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, so I love that in 40 Days, that tremolo guitar, I guess is what it's called. And then Sing.
Sing, incidentally, a lot of critics liked the best off of this album.
Yeah, also apparently the guy behind this album, this earring wearing motherfucker that's staring directly at me.
Yeah.
Everyone else is looking off to the side, and he's looking right at the camera like an asshole. Apparently, he said that this is the only song he would want to listen to if he ever wanted to listen to this album again, which he doesn't.
Yeah, he's the fucking Jim Halpert. Fucking looking directly. Don't fucking Jim the camera, man.
He's jimming it, yeah, for sure.
Jimming the fucking camera.
Yeah. Apparently, this album is all about like a breakup or something too. Maybe with the like red-haired woman. I think potentially, actually,
that might be true.
I think I was reading about that on the Wikipedia page.
That sounds right.
Something like that.
I find this to be the weakest track on the album by far.
Yeah, I don't understand why he said that. I guess this is the one that he feels most strongly about, though.
Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting because I also agree. I don't really get it. It has some interesting parts. I like the it has some stings, I guess you would say.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe them otherwise. Really just near the end, I guess. Around 3:33.
Oh yeah, like the little high note.
Yeah, the very high note. Yeah, especially right there. Yeah, 3:40.
It's your little touches. That's what you like.
I like the little touches, and it's like I like that, but it's at the end, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah, no, I think that it's honestly, I think this one is the most reminiscent of Loveless, but just doing it not as well.
Not even close to as well, because Loveless is is never boring.
What I find, so because
this is a little this is good to sleep to.
I think that Slow Dive really did a different thing than the rest of the bands around this time. And again, I mean, like I said, it's dream pop, right? Like this really isn't even a shoegaze album. This is really a dream pop album.
Yes.
But it's like a dream pop album with shoegaze elements instead of a shoegaze album with dream pop elements. And Sing is the most shoegazy of them, and I just don't think that they're that great as a shoegaze band.
Interesting. Yeah, this has definitely felt the weakest to me. And Here She Comes is a weird one, but I forgive it because it's before Souvlaki Space Station.
Which is fucking fantastic.
Which is a great song, yeah.
Oh, Souvlaki Space Station. Yeah, I always notice when Souvlaki Space Station comes on.
Yeah, it has energy. I mean, I don't even know. I don't really have anything to say about Here She Comes.
No, neither do I. It's kind of an throwaway track a little bit.
It is a nice transition to the rest of the album, but that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, no, Souvlaki Space Station. Yeah. They clearly put. I mean, it's the eponymous sort of track. So
I was just gonna say, I think the reason Here She Comes exists where it does is because Sing is supposed to be like the emotional low point probably of the album is what I would guess.
Okay.
But again, I don't listen to the lyrics. So
neither do I.
Based on what the singer said.
Yeah.
Or the band leader. And so then we get to Souvlaki Space Station.
God, it's so fucking good.
So I mean, just the intro.
How does this have 2.8 million plays and When the Sun Hits us 20 million?
Because people are stupid.
I mean, the When the Sun Hits is good, but Souvlaki Space Station, man. Come on.
I mean, most people listen to music like I do, I think, now. Right? They don't listen to albums.
Yeah, they just listen to the one song.
They don't even know Souvlaki Space Station exists, which is a shame because it's so good.
Oh, God.
Once again, it's the things I really like about this are all that you're making me realize are black metal elements, too.
Oh, yeah. No, black metal saw what... Eventually, black metal saw what, my brain stopped working.
Shoegaze?
Shoegaze, thank you. My brain just...
You're good.
It just shut off. My brain was just fucking, it just right to blue screen, just bah! I was just I swallowed my spit, all bodily functions shut down.
Just take a deep breath.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Shoegaze. It saw what shoegaze is doing.
Podcasting
it was just
is tough, folks. You'll see it here. It takes a toll on us.
It's rough, man.
We're barely gonna make it.
Trying to think for 2-3 hours. You kidding me? Oof.
Sitting here in my nice chair, drinking my homemade sweet tea. Oof.
What kind of tea?
It's half Earl Grey, half Irish breakfast with fresh squeezed lemon.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to send you some more Assam for your birthday.
Yeah.
Need to make sure
Some
to
of the
do
good
that.
stuff.
I bought a new one. I'll have to see if it's good. I'll send you that one.
Yeah.
But if
it's
not,
that
I'll just
Black
send you.
Beauty.
I mean, I might just get you a gigantic bag of Black Beauty since you liked it so much.
That was so good. Yeah.
God, Souvlaki. Okay, so good. Fucking Souvlaki Space Station. Doing the most interesting things on the entire album for sure.
Yes. Yeah. This is it doesn't really feel like it matches with the rest of the album. You know what?
It's
It
incongruous.
almost feels like a Mars Volta song a little bit.
Oh, it's interesting you say that. We'll come back to that at a later album.
Sure.
But yeah, what is Mars Volta about it to you?
The guitar work.
Okay,
The reverb.
I can see that.
This feels like the intro. Like this is the build up part.
Oh, I can see that. Okay.
Yeah,
I
that's what I
feel
mean.
like, in terms of like the looking at pedals, I feel like there's a lot of pedals being pushed for this one.
Oh my god, yeah, so many.
Like there's so many different weird effects going on.
Yeah, it's great. There are. I love it. I love the variety of effects.
Yeah,
and
and
also the reverb of the guitar. Like how long some of these reverb sequences go on for like 10 seconds. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is Reverb the album.
It's very good. And oh wait, are there no lyrics on this song at all?
No, there are. Like at 250,
there
there's
are.
definitely
Okay,
some.
yeah.
And it's
A little
her,
bit.
which is also great.
Okay, I thought there were.
But and it's got that. I like that delivery, where it's like she's just like awash in reverb,
Yeah.
like sounds
might
like
as
she's
well
a
be a
million
guitar.
miles away.
It sounds like an instrument.
Sounds like she's on the Souvlaki space station.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, a great one.
A great one. When the Sun Hits is good. I mean, I don't know if it's 20 million versus Souvlaki space station being 2.8 good, but it is good. I know it's got the guy singing on it probably more than you would prefer, but
Yeah, it does have that crunchy guitar though. Every 30 seconds, it feels like it starts at a minute, I guess,
let me see. Yeah.
and then it'll stop after like a minute.
And so, like, I don't know if I mentioned on the last, I think it was maybe 2 podcasts ago, and I had mentioned that, like, one of the things that, and I think, by the way, I've researched this afterwards, and I found out that it was apparently maybe only, like, one band on, like, one album did this, and this might have even been the album, but, like, of running the distortion after the reverb. I do feel like that's what they're doing on a lot of these, like, big washy bits, is running the distortion after the reverb to make the reverb distorted itself.
Yes, that's crazy.
And it just like it has a very different sound to doing it the opposite way, because it's like when you, and I'm not even sure that's what's happening here, to be honest, so like roast me in the comments, whatever. Like, because when you run distortion and then you run reverb, like the reverb gets diffused out and it washes out into the soundscape. When you run the reverb and then distort that, the actual reverb itself becomes distorted, and that sounds really fucking cool.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I don't even know if that's necessarily what's happening here, but like it does lead to a really cool sound where it's like you're distorting the actual reverb itself in a way that just sounds impossibly huge. It's a really cool effect.
Yeah, this is a much more. I think it's more traditional rock.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, because I'm listening to this and like,
People
other
like
than a
that.
couple points, I think it's just because it's like it's that like tremolo picked, fucking distorted, really good sound, but like we heard it already, like, and this is a good track for it, but like coming right after Souvlaki Space Station, it's like,
Yeah, I really feel like Souvlaki Space Station is the high point.
it is. No, I mean, honestly, for me, it's like Allison, Machine Gun, and Souvlaki Space Station are what make this album for me.
Yeah. And when the sun hits, it's kind of like the start of the end.
Altogether is interesting, though. Altogether
Yes.
almost starts a little bit like a log song.
Yes, just the one.
And it's got like a kind of like a metallic reverb to it that sounds
Yes.
very like hopeless. Like it obviously doesn't
Yes.
it doesn't end up as a log song, but like it does kind of give me a little bit of a clue of like, oh, okay, this is one of the things that why I like how log manages to, especially on North, how log manages to sound like they do. Because I like anytime I'm like, oh, wait a second, does this sound a little bit like a log song? I'm like, okay, how did they do that? What did they do?
It's very sharp sounding reverb.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yes, I agree. Yes, this is maybe the best of the 3 of the end songs.
Yeah, because Melon Yellow.
Yeah, I don't really get that one as much. They went too minimal, I think, with Melon Yellow. Whatever they were doing, they did too much of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's an interesting effect with like the drums getting like a little bit of like reversal on them. It's like they play it like the cymbal, it hits and then it sounds like it's coming back in reverse. Like there's some neat bits to this, but it just kind of like, I'm like, eh. And then Dagger is just like a song.
Yes. They spent their creative juices on the first half of the album, really.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. It's a good first half, though.
Yes.
Finishes strong.
Yeah, I don't like as much of this album as I want to, but like the songs that I do like, I like a lot.
What's your favorite? I mean, the obvious one.
No, I think it's Machine Gun. I think it might be Machine Gun.
Yeah, it is the one with the best. I think it's the best vocals maybe on the album.
Yeah, because I mean, it's really doing like the Beach House thing. Well, okay, Beach House is doing the Machine Gun thing, to be more correct. But like, it's really like the phaser and like the really like sad high female vocals. Like, I eat this shit up, man. Like, I eat this shit for breakfast. Like, this is what I like. If you love like female vocalists screaming their faces off, I like female vocalists singing really high with lots of reverb and sad.
Yeah. No, Machine Gun, yeah, you're right. You might be right. It is really good. It has a very good feel.
This is what I want the whole album to be. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It certainly came at the tail end of the shoegaze era, and it certainly was doing a much different thing than the next album, Loveless.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah. I mean, then just to immediately go from that to Only Shallow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a totally different feel. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, this is a classic album. It's amazing.
And again, 2 vocalists on this as well, right? Because there's a female vocalist and a male vocalist, yeah?
Yeah. I think so, but weirdly enough, if I understand correctly, basically the like Shields or whatever, the guy behind this album, basically did everything.
Really?
Other than like I guess the female vocals.
Yes.
Like the people who are credited as guitar and bass, and I guess maybe the drum person did their own thing. But like the guitar and the bassist both are like, oh yeah, I just stopped like coming. Like he had his own, like I would have gotten in the way basically.
Jesus.
But he still credited them because I guess they helped him like get there.
Yeah.
So like really it's like this is almost like a one person album, which is insane.
I mean, you know,
even though it's not, obviously.
It does say something to the like I've often espoused that singular artistic vision is more interesting than a really well produced and like put together collaboration. And I mean, if that's tracks, and I assume it does, then I can see why this is so good, because it's like you'll never, when you have a collaboration, it will almost like when you have enough people on board, you can almost always make something that's pretty good, you know, because you get the right amount of people like looking through it and making sure that like everything tracks and everything works and all that.
No one's offended.
Yeah. But when you have one person, like those are usually the things that end up being your favorite, because that one person is going to touch the right nerve for a certain group of people and be like, that's the thing, you know? And I feel like for a lot of people, obviously this album was that, because I mean, Loveless is hugely influential, like massively influential.
Yeah. And it also cost $1 million.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Jesus.
When it was made, it cost £250,000, which is £500,000 today, which is obviously $1 million.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And yet, like, again, I did a lot of Wikipedia diving on this.
Yeah.
Like, despite all of that, like again, this Shields guy, who's like, again, I believe is like the main push idea guy behind the album, is like very prideful of the fact that like they're only using the like whammy bar basically. Like he's like, yes, like everyone else is doing all this complicated stuff with effect pedals, and it's like all of our guitar effects is just this one, like we're just like whammying the guitar or whatever as we're picking, and it's just like that's it. which is insane.
Yeah, because I was like, there isn't, like, I'll have to try to pay attention, but I do think that this is much more like, yeah, I don't hear as many, like, weird effects on this necessarily, but.
Yeah. I'm trying to get the actual, I was right about it being only him. He just took over production for everything. Because that's just what he wanted to do.
That's what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Oh my god, they both became affected with tinnitus. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Wow. Yeah, vibrato. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Amazing though. I mean, that first song, Only Shallow. I mean, that just like that.
So
Yeah.
I want you to do something for me. I want you to click through every single one of these tracks, and I want you to tell me if you think that the sound actually changes. See, here's what I noticed. I think every single one of these is basically, I mean, verse or chorus, you call it whatever you want, is just a verse or just a chorus. Like, it's one musical idea per song.
Interesting.
Like, I basically hear the same riff throughout each song. I hear the same riff, like, as a constant, almost like a pedal point.
Well, sure, but that's like, that's just because every song has its own unique, like, cosmic background radiation.
But, like,
you know
if
I mean?
you listen to most songs, right, and you click through randomly, you're going to hear, like, a distinct verse or chorus somewhere in there. And I don't ever hear it in this. And yet none of the songs feel stale, like they're only sitting in one place. But I think that every song is built on, like, one idea that he evolves over top of, but leaves the underlying idea the same.
Yes, I think that's correct.
Okay. That's wild, because that's so hard to do.
Yeah, he did it, though.
Because, like, I feel like, and I do this sometimes by laziness in my own music, but, like, it always does feel like I'm just playing, like, the same thing over and over again with additional layers. But, like, the first, like, 5 or 6 times I listened through this, I was like, yeah, all right, yeah. And then I was like, wait a second, hang on. And I clicked through each of the songs. I was just like, is that just the same riff?
Yeah. Each song has its own unique, like, static tone.
Yeah. And it's like, it's why it becomes, for me, so, like, ethereal, you know? Because, like, I don't think I've ever really listened to something that's, like, sounds like this, per se. Like, it has
You should check out analog horror stuff on YouTube.
Yeah?
Because listening to this, again, you know, now, this essentially is what analog horror music sounds like.
Okay. Analog horror.
Just, like, the scratchiness of it. You know what I mean? Like how everything, like that unique distortion that everything seems to have on this album. It's kind of scratchy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that is like the way that like analog horror like sounds. Like that's the way they've all of them have decided that like old VHS tapes sound like, and like I think this might be where it comes from.
Or
at least
this
is a big inspiration for that sound. Because some of these sounds like let's see here, like Touched.
Well, Touch does sound like a horror movie for sure.
Like that is analog horror, but like even the next song, like the intro.
Yeah, I was about to say To Hear Knows When, more of an actual song, but it has that. It's like tape distortion.
Yeah, you're watching like an old PSA on like a distorted VHS tape.
No, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like it's like
this whole album is that, and it's so weird because I'm a huge fan of that shit currently. And it's just like it's so weird to listen to My Bloody Valentine and be like, oh, this is what I've been listening to on like the background of all these like YouTube videos, basically.
Where does analog horror fit in with something like the New Weird?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, New Weird is like it's like SCP and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. SCP is like the grandfather stuff. So like Marble Hornets is like probably one of the first analog horror things, like Slender Man.
Oh, okay.
That's what Marble Hornets is like Slender Man comes from this like weird like YouTube, you know, pseudo reality, like it, you know, it's obviously, you know, fictional, but it's uploaded as if it's like vlogs of real life of these people like finding out about Slender Man and like being stalked by him and, you know, etc. And then that like eventually spawned just like the Backrooms stuff and like Gemini Horror and like the W5 local station and so many analog horror series. It's insane, actually.
Okay.
So it's like that's the new horror genre that's exploding across the internet now.
Because I
really
love
2 years ago.
Because I love the new weird. Like I love SCP shit because it feels so like, oh, this is gonna sound.
Yeah, you should definitely check out analog horror stuff.
Okay, I should, because like this is gonna sound like the most pretentious thing I've probably ever said, but like,
Ooh, wow, ever? You've said some pretentious things.
I have said some really pretentious. Like I mean, like the new weird feels very Kafka-esque.
Sure. Oh yeah. Let's see here.
It's like almost like making the horror mundane because it's just like cataloging and, you know, defining. It's like all the SCP stuff of like, oh yeah, okay, so we got this thing. It's like a fucking government organization. Like, figure out what the fuck this is and like write it down. It's like, don't look at it because it'll eat your soul. So, you know, make sure you're wearing your standard issue, you know. It's like, love that shit, man. Fucking like all of Control. Like, just love that shit.
I posted something in the Discord. It's a Greylock.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll like that. Pretty sure. It's a good analog horror.
Let me take a look at this real quick.
It's a whole playlist. It's like It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, I can see this. It's it's got that kind of just very.
Yeah, it's exactly like Control kind of thing. It's all that stuff. SCP is a huge influence on all this kind of stuff for sure. Yeah, I love watching this stuff on YouTube. It's scary.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll turn all the lights on, man.
Yeah, even some of the liminal maps I play on Gmod, like most of them don't have anything in them, and even then they're still scary.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a big baby. I would never be able to. The fact that you're able to even play that shit, I was like, no, no
well,
thanks.
You know, my first horror game was basically Silent Hill, so just like nothing really gets close to running away from the like mosquito things in the apartment building in Silent Hill 3.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2 scarred me very deeply as a human being. It was just, oh my God, fucking Pyramid Head and all that shit. Like, I had nightmares about Pyramid Head for like 10 years.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Mars Attacks scared me. Like, Pyramid Head was a whole nother level.
I forgot. Yeah, Mars Attacks for you. I was too old for Mars Attacks, so Mars Attacks was just funny for me. But Mars Attacks fucked you up, man.
Mars Attacks fucked me up for like a decade.
Yeah,
if not more. Yeah, it was brutal.
For me, Chucky also fucked me up pretty bad. I saw that way too young. That was bad. That was not good for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Anyway, When You Sleep, great fucking track.
Yes. Yeah, as all of the tracks on this album are, really not a bad one.
When You Sleep, very much more towards traditional, I feel like. But very good.
Yeah, but it's so creepy though, just like but like scary.
For me, the seminal track on this, I think, is I Only Said. I feel like
interesting. Because I was going to say this is my favorite track.
Okay, yeah. This is what I feel like every time this comes on. I'm like, yeah, I'm listening to Loveless. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I mean the way it just gets so distorted. It's weird how different this is from Fentanyl, and yet so similar in so many ways.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is absolutely an exploration of how far can you go with distortion.
Yeah, just like what. At what point does this stop being music and it's just noise? It's like, this is nowhere close, by the way. It's so music.
And I do think that like shoegaze does like have elements, maybe even roots in noise rock. So like,
yeah.
It doesn't surprise me. And I mean, I'm sure that like at the time this was like, wow, this is so distorted, you know, and I can imagine hearing this live was nuts. And then like, now we have stuff like Fentanyl where it's just like,
exactly. But this is like crazy. This is also just so creepy.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of creepiness to this album. This is a surprisingly I mean, even the cover art itself is a little like unsettling.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's a great album. It's so good. Oh my God. It really is. Thank you for reminding me that this exists.
Yeah, no problem. And yeah, I mean, so okay, so you had heard this album before.
Yeah.
But wasn't really thinking about it in the shoegaze context maybe necessarily? No,
not at all. No,
yeah.
I don't know what I would have considered it. It was something I listened to when I was like, 15.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So long ago. And I don't think I liked it as a kid.
I feel like I listened to this album about like 5 years ago and was kind of like, eh. And then I came back to it recently And
Yeah.
part of the reason why I wanted to do this episode was because of this. And I was just like, oh no, I was wrong. This is fucking great.
It's weird. It's like it hides its intensity under this layer of like fluff, but it's really intense still.
Oh yeah, this is a surprisingly heavy album for how not heavy it is.
Yeah. I guess a lot of the heaviness is front loaded though, to a big extent. Although I guess the last 2 songs, no, never mind.
I do really like Blown a Wish, though, I will say. I feel like Blown a Wish is maybe the most slow divey of this album.
Oh yeah, I love the vocals on this song too.
Yeah, I know, right? It's very dream pop.
They almost sound reversed, even though I don't think they are actually.
I don't think they are, but I do know what you mean.
Yeah, the way it like pitches up, I guess. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, no, they're clearly, I mean, okay. He says he was only using, I guess maybe he's using like a tremolo
guitar,
type effect on the vocals, because like, there's a lot
of digital production, obviously, still.
Yeah, I mean, there's what is happening with like the background vocals in this is not natural.
Yeah. I think it's just the guitar he's talking about in that case. Yeah, this is a great song, and it has that like keyboard bit in the background happening around like it comes in around like 110.
110. Let me try to hear for it. Am I not hearing it?
106 maybe. If you start at 1, you'll hear it come in. The
oh yeah, okay, I hear it. Yeah, it's some kind of synth in the background.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, it's a little touch.
Little touches.
Little touch. Love it every time.
Yeah, What You Want feels a little bit more straightforward, but again, it's like that carrying that same musical theme throughout the entire thing. And then it kind of like ends with like a little bit of like, I don't know how to describe it, like, or it just kind of like it just becomes like the kind of like just the little touches.
Also very analog horror.
No, I could see where this album,
it's
in the right context, could actually sound incredibly terrifying.
It'd be a great horror movie soundtrack, I think, actually.
Ooh, yeah, I could see that.
Oh, so good.
And then it just blends right into Soon.
Yeah, which is so good.
This is another track that I feel like is very seminal to this album.
Yeah, the like background guitar here that's just like noodling the whole time, or
yeah, it sounds very like very high passed.
Yeah, not noodling, I guess. The exact opposite, kind of.
Yeah, it's like jangly chords.
Yes, thank you. Oh,
yeah, like that's when I think about this album, this is definitely one of the songs that I think about. It feels very apropos to the album itself.
Yeah, it's a great finish. It's so good.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, a great album, truly.
Indeed, it is.
Do you have anything else to say about the shoegaze?
I don't think so. I mean, it's like I wanted to listen to these 2 albums because I was just like, you know what? I had been listening to these a shit ton, and I was like, we gotta listen to these because I just
talk about them.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like we've used the word shoegaze probably somewhat incorrectly.
Oh, for sure. Because I'm talking about like modern prog rock with shoegaze elements.
Yeah. And this is
not
like
actual shoegaze.
Yeah. And this is actual, and like, it's like it's sad that this as a genre didn't really take off, because a lot of the cool things of it, like I wish I'd seen more of it. I mean, I do know this was like hugely influential in a lot of music, like in the late 90s and early 2000s. So
it made a big splash.
It made a big splash. But yes.
I mean, it's what analog horror sounds like.
Yes, it's excellent. But yes, we should move on to the lake south, the river north.
What did you think of the album overall?
Okay, so my first run through this, I will say that song 3 completely ruined this album because it's so fucking good.
Oh, yes. Okay, well, yeah, sure. Yeah.
The first run through this, I was like, oh man, other than song 3, this album sucks. And then I like specifically avoided song 3 and listened to the rest. And I was like, oh, no. This is actually good. Song 3 is so good that I thought that the rest of this album was terrible.
Yeah, it's almost like a different genre.
Oh, it's so fucking good. But yeah, okay, so I wasn't ready for prog yet. And so the first 2 tracks of this, it took me a second to like be ready for this to be like a concept album type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I wasn't ready for prog again. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Prog is a lot.
Prog is a lot.
It's a lot. And not always in a good way.
Very often not in a good way.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I actually, let me say this real quick, because I gotta get this one off my chest. Prog is a genre where very talented people are able to express the full amount of their creativity using the full power of all of their musical talents. And some of those people lean much further towards musical talents than creativity. And there's a lot of prog out there where it's like, you are really good at your instrument and you can't write a song to save your fucking life.
Yeah. Restraint is important.
Restraint is important. And I mean, it's not even necessarily that restraint is important. It's just that, like, there's a difference between being a talented musician and being a talented songwriter.
Sure.
And I've realized that there's like a lot of prog that I don't like anymore because I was just impressed by their musicality, and now I don't care because their songs suck.
Yeah, you never want to actually listen to them because they're just garbage.
Yes. That being said, though, this first track, I mean, the choral, nature of this, like, after I was like, oh, wait, we're listening to prog. Okay, let me just reframe it. I love this, actually. I love this track. The second track, obviously, is just like a transition track, and it doesn't really do anything. It's fine, it's like...
Yeah, no, yeah.
Anytime we're starting to get into, like, full band, like, whatever it's called, like leitmotif, or, what's the word? It's like, I feel like Dream Theater uses it a lot, where they're like...
Overture.
Thank you. Yeah, an overture. This is an overture. I don't need an overture in every single one of my prog albums. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but they want you to have one in every single one of your prog albums.
Oh, they do. They're like, no, we're going to do a classical music overture and fucking fuck you. But leads perfectly into Cityscape.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
So you said earlier that something reminded you of the Mars Volta. Cityscape is the Mars Volta.
Yeah. This was definitely one of those bands that, like, I was trying to replace the Mars. Like, they're also replicating the Mars Volta here on purpose. Like, this is them aping the Mars Volta for sure. Like, but it's so good.
That part, 24 seconds. Mm-hmm. And then, like, the little background vocals.
Yeah, the background vocals. Yeah.
Oh God, dude, fuck off. It's so good.
Black Bonzo. Oh my God. Holy fuck.
Ooh. Okay.
Holy shit. I'm sorry. I've been trying to think of that band's name for the last, like, 3 months. Oh, that's a big, that feels good to get that off. It sounds a lot like Black Bonzo, but just that's off topic.
I can see it. I know I can absolutely, but everything about this is just, oh God, it is scream around 1 minute. Like, so Mars Volta-y. And it's like, it's really good. It's like slightly breaking. It's like,
but it has its own feel. It's not just Mars Volta.
No, I know what you're saying. I mean, it is very, like, it's very Deer Hunter-y.
Yeah, it's ska, I think. It's kind of like, unfortunately.
I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to let you get away with ska.
Yeah,
justify
that's what
that
I always
for
think
me.
of. I think of this as prog ska. Because there's just so much brass happening.
Oh, okay. All right. You know what? Fucking granted. All right. Prog ska.
That's the big one. Yeah.
I decree that you are allowed to have prog ska. Fuck, man. Jesus.
Yeah.
God, this is so good. It's like every element of this is just so fucking good, man. Jesus. That being said, this album reminds me a lot, and it's not actually that similar, but it reminds me a lot of Coma Ecliptic by Between the Buried and Me, which I don't think you've ever listened to.
Oh, no, I definitely have.
Oh, you have? You've listened to Between the Buried and Me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. I love the Between the Buried and Me.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I do. 1 second. I've listened to a lot of bands. I've definitely listened to Between the Buried and Me. Let me make sure.
If you listen to, on Coma Ecliptic, if you listen to, I think it's the Coma Machine.
Coma Machine. Oh, yeah. No, I love Between the Buried and Me. Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually a little bit surprised because they have what you would, I'm sure, describe as hardcore vocals a lot on this. Although this one is actually toned down quite a bit. But yeah, so Coma Machine reminds me a lot vibe-wise.
I don't know if I've heard, you know what? I honestly don't know if I've heard this album, though.
Ooh, we should listen to this album at some point.
I think I've literally just listened to, like, Colors and Parallax, maybe?
I mean, those are their really famous ones, and maybe Alaska.
Yeah.
But we should because this one's been on my list for a while. Okay, if you're okay with the Bleeding, we should listen to this.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
cool.
yes.
Anyway, back to City Escape though. Like
So good.
this did for somewhat again vibes wise remind me a little bit of that album by Between the Buried and Me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, and also, God, like the weird like ambient part at like 22 minutes 40. Again, just Mars Volta. Like that's just something that Mars Volta would do. Of just like, oh, we're just gonna fucking just pause and we're just gonna do a weird ambient part for like a couple seconds.
Yeah. 2 minutes 40. But yes.
What did I say?
22.
Oops.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, are you listening to this and there's like one long song somehow?
2 minutes
No.
40. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh God.
It's a long song.
Oh, and like the little like
minutes,
like 3 minutes, like the little like kind of like almost like tribally percussion bit.
Yeah. And then it goes back to that like piano piece. Yeah. So good. It sometimes prog gets wonky, like wanky over its like transition pieces, but this all makes sense. It's like everything like gels well.
Yeah, no, this is prog musicality. No, prog like songwriting versus prog talent. And it's talented, by the way. Don't get me wrong. Like this, I'm not saying that this is like they're not just being talented. They're writing a song that takes advantage of that talent instead of just being talented at me.
Yes. Yeah. And so a great song. Yes.
Yes.
I could see how it could overshadow the rest of the album.
Oh my God. I completely, and also this was like, this was basically done just by him.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, this is another one of those like singular
it's his
creative
vision.
vision. Yeah, I think just the drummer was the only help that he got, which fair. Like,
Yeah, he needed it.
as
The drummer's amazing.
as somebody that makes their own music. Also, I'm like I've been trying like in the background to like do another black metal album, but like do it more interesting this time. Like I did just standard straight ahead black metal, and like I'm trying to like bring more of like my own elements to it this time around. But like I've committed that if I'm gonna do a black metal album again, I am gonna do the drumming myself. And
Oh boy.
yeah, and I gotta tell you, man, that's a big hurdle to clear. Like, cause like
That is a very big hurdle.
yeah, because it's like I am not a drummer, and I can totally understand why somebody would just be like, okay, I'm gonna do everything myself except for I'm gonna hire a drummer. Like,
You have to like rebuild your body.
it's really like, I mean, I'm trying to go for like a more like Amateurs-y like feel to it, where it's like a little bit more like punk rock and less like blast beats type of thing. Because I can handle that. I can do a little bit of blast beats, but like it's like I can do more like Alcest slow blast beats type of thing than I can do like, you know, modern black metal insane 300 BPM blast beats.
Yeah, of course.
So like I'm gonna try to do it something that's, you know, more my speed, but I'm committed. I'm like, if I do another black metal album, I have to do every instrument myself, or I'm not doing it. So, which is part of the reason why I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you got it.
But yeah, so okay, so City Escape goes into Inquiry of Miss Terry, and it's such a departure. It's a great song, but the first time that I heard this, it was such an abrupt transition.
Yeah. Well, it really calms down for a couple minutes.
Yeah, it really like winds back, and I wasn't ready for how big of a shift that was going to be. What I ended up doing on subsequent listens is I would start here, and that helped. And in fact, I learned that trick in the last podcast, because I had a lot of that experience again with like the Pillows, where I didn't like that first song, and I was like, ooh. I would start the album at different points and see how I felt about it. This was one of these albums where I started a lot of times with track 3 and then would go back and listen to City Escape, because because I was like, City Escape will just cloud my judgment of everything that comes after it.
Yeah, because this song is so good.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, the way it like slows down and comes back and slows down and comes back.
And I love that, like, I think it's like a delay effect on the guitar around like 46, 47 seconds. Or there's something, maybe there's a little bit like slapback or something. Anyway, it sounds really nice. 46 seconds.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. There's something going on there.
That was fucking gorgeous, man. Oh, so good.
And it really quiets down just so they can build it back up. Yeah, it's so good. And of course the vocalist is amazing.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah. The way he like his singing style, his range, yeah. And they have great backup vocalists, whoever those are.
You know what? Okay, I wasn't figuring it out until just now, but you know what this song reminds me of, and what he like the way that this is very Pain of Salvation to me.
Yeah. That's very man. It's been a long time since I listened to Pain of Salvation. Holy shit.
Dude,
yeah.
Daniel Gildenlow, man, fuck off. Like, he's such an emotional singer. When I think about like vocalist idols for me, like Devin Townsend, obviously, because he's just like incredible range, sounds fucking amazing no matter what he does, perfect. But Daniel Gildenlow, for me, as like he's like one of the most emotional sounding metal singers. Like his fucking like all of his shit on like Remedy Lane is just like, oh dude, it's so fucking good. But yes, I love this song a lot. It's like some of the best like moments on this album are on this song.
Yes. Yeah.
It almost feels a little bit like musical theater in a way.
Oh yes, no, it's very theatrical. I could see this being a play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Act 1, right?
Exactly. No, I mean, yeah, I think that's probably intentional. Hopefully.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is like this whole thing is like it's, I feel like this is a lot like the whole like Coheed and Cambria thing, where like this guy has like written like a script and he's turned it into music. Because Coheed and Cambria's like first few albums are like a manga or something, or a comic book.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't know if it's actually any good, but like he's
sure.
I
mean, yeah, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
His scream is so good. It's so powerful.
Yeah, and it breaks a little bit.
It breaks a little bit.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh.
You know who has a similar vocal style, I feel like, to him is the singer from Beardfish. Because I feel like he has the same kind of like almost like bluesy sort of scream to him, where he's like, he reaches a little bit too far and breaks a little bit, but like in a tasteful way. And again, like, I mean, I'm going to compare this to a lot of things because I we've both listened to a shit ton of prog, and so I have a lot to draw from here. There is a little bit of beard fishiness to this as well. Like,
yeah, it's got the funk.
Yeah,
there's a bit of it's more bluesy, I guess.
Yeah,
it's so good though.
Okay, so 1878. The beginning of this sounds so much like, and it doesn't actually sound like this in real life, but like it evoked something. It sounds like Minus the Bear to me.
Oh, sure, the start, especially the intro.
The intro to 1878. But
no, 100%.
Oh, where's the thing though? Because I was actually what it actually sounds like, and this was just like a very random one. Let me see if I can hear it again. Yeah, okay. So let me send this to you. This is Diary by Sunny Day Real Estate.
Okay.
And if you go to the song Fertron Secreto, I don't know what the fuck that even says, but and you listen to just the beginning of that, the piano part.
Sure.
It feels like it could have come off that album. Like it feels very similar.
Yes. Yeah, especially with the vocals and everything. Yeah.
It was one of those weird moments where I was like, wait a second, because like I was listening to it, I was like, wait, what? By the way, that album I will have to recommend at some point. I was doing this big deep dive. I was trying to find the first post-hardcore band that sounds like modern post-hardcore, and I'm pretty sure that's the album. I can't find anything earlier than that, because like old post-hardcore, like fucking like Fugazi and Slint and shit like that, it sounds like it's what post-hardcore originally was, like for real, which was like the evolution of hardcore, which was a genre of punk and all that. But then modern post-hardcore, like Dance Gavin Dance and fucking From Autumn to Ashes and Taking Back Sunday and all that shit, sound completely different from all of the old post-hardcore stuff. And I was like, okay, but what was the first band? And I think that might be it. I can't find anything older, so at some point we'll have to listen to that.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I like that.
But yes, 1878. I love the part, 146? Tonight.
Yeah, that whole section is amazing. Yes, that's like the best part.
This is a good example of a concept album that for the most part doesn't waste your time.
Yes.
Which I like.
Yeah, a nice tight 38 minutes.
And like almost all of the songs are songs.
Yeah. And they don't there's not a lot of sameness.
and there isn't like, 5 minutes of like, talking or like ambient subway noise, fucking like some of the post the fucking concept album shit where it's just like, I'm looking at you, the wall, or you scenes from a memory part 2. Like,
yeah, dude. Oh my god, it gets really bad out there in the prog world.
It does, man. Prague it's a rough neighborhood, man. Like, there's all sorts of fucking wasting your time shit out there.
And then the organ in this song.
Oh yes. Oh
like 4 minutes 30-ish.
I'll never say no to an organ.
It's, you know what it is? It's like, it's Southern blues prog.
Yeah, I can see that.
This song at least.
And there is like a very like, I don't know, down south feel.
Yes,
to like,
it's got that down home feel.
I got that down home. No, I mean like even
got
like
that down home feel, y'all.
Like lyrical content, which I know you don't pay any attention to, but like,
nope.
Even the themes of this album, I don't know. Like, I get like a very like, Southern America feel to it, or maybe London. I don't know. It's either. It could be either. Oh, but yeah, I mean, a good organ solo, like fucking anytime, man. You sign me up. I'm ready.
Yeah.
And then the guitar plays off of the organ solo, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, yes, that's another thing that's nice is like when they do a weird instrument transition, they transition off of it too.
Yeah.
In like a successful way. It's not just some random part that's thrown in there.
Yeah, it's not a collection of pieces. It is a coherent whole. Pimpin' the Priest, also fantastic.
Oh, I love Pimpin' the Priest, yeah. There's one part at what, 4 minutes, I think? Yeah, like the build up from 3 minutes to like 3:30 and on is so good. I love that part. The intro to the song is good too, but it's a little slower.
I'm trying to find the part like earlier on a little bit. I guess the first chorus around a minute. In the chapel, a brothel, where we suffocate and you've got the time if you've got the scratch.
Yeah, so good.
No, I mean like this song. It's there's a little bit like it's like a little circus music-y and like, but it makes it work. Circus music is probably the wrong thing, but like I don't know what to describe this. I don't know what that thing is that it's doing. Like mba type of music.
Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, it's ska. No, it's really like it's big band inspired, obviously, but like that's what ska is trying to be. So this is like prog ska.
There's actually something called mpa music, and I think that is what this like almost like polka-y in a way, but like not.
Polka-y, yes, that's a good way to put it. Yes, we've listened to Aliman Vasarat, right?
You have sent that to me, yes.
That we need to, or that we have?
No, you've sent it to me. And I have.
Okay, I have. Okay, good. Yeah. We maybe should just do that whole album at some point.
Do it, man. Hit me with it.
Anyway, yes, this is a great song. And then
so his hands match his tongue reminds. Okay, so it starts so much like an Iron and Wine song, like very folk music.
Oh yeah, very much so. I see that. Yeah.
Oh god. And obviously, like it continues that way for a while, but like the build up around like getting up to 3 minutes, and then the drum break, and then the little like piano bit, and it's like, oh, someday shall be gone. Someday shall be gone. Fucking man, dude. Oh, it sounds so good. It's like transcendently good. Like when that bit hits at 3 minutes, I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, fuck off, dude. So good.
Yeah, they do the build up very well.
Oh yeah, I mean, like it's a 3 minute prog rock build up, like post rock build up, and it hits me just right. And it's interesting up to that point, which is good, because like sometimes it's, sometimes you do a build up and it's just like, yeah, exactly. It's not.
Really, it just captures such a good energy.
Mm-hmm. And then that's it. And then the River North is just a fucking.
Yeah. But it does end with applause, so we were right.
Okay. So the first time I listened to this, the fucking applause at the end, I was like, okay, dude, really? This is fucking, you're going to end with fucking applause on your fucking shit.
Yeah, no, I think it's just to simulate it being a play or a orchestral thing.
Oh yeah, it's just like it was just like the first time I ran through this.
It's hilarious.
I was very much like, okay, this is the most pretentious shit that's ever existed. Yeah. Like to put fucking audience applause in your own song, it's like This is the Jeb Bush please clap of music.
Yeah.
But like, and by the way, also to be fair, the way that I listened to this album most of the time was 1, skip 2, go to 3, end at 7, and just that's it. So like I listened to 2 and 8 like the first time, and I basically never listened to it afterwards.
Yeah, that is okay.
Yeah, but yeah, no, dude, this fucking ruled, man. Like honestly, I was a little bit not ready for this, but once I got back into it, I remembered I was like, no, it's not that I don't like prog, it's that I don't like bad prog, and there's a lot of bad prog.
Yeah, you really, it's one of those. It's like, you know, reading Wuxia or something. It's like there's a lot of garbage you gotta shift through.
Sift through.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, no, I mean, like it's one of those things. It's like, because like prog is, and I mean I said it already. It's like it's one of those genres that it's so open ended that it invites. It basically gives you enough rope to hang yourself with, right? And
so much rope sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like prog is really just be very good at your instrument, the genre, and that's it. And like, there's really no other like rules to prog other than that. I'm sure somebody will come in and be like, excuse me, actually, the correct is like, but fuck off, all right? The real, if you're doing prog, basically what you're doing is you have some instruments and you're playing them really competently and you're amazing. But like, being really good at your instruments and being really good at composition are not the same thing. And this album makes that very clear. It's like, this album is compositionally very good, right? It's very good in a way that a lot of prog albums aren't. And it was a delight to listen to. I really enjoyed this.
I'm glad you liked it.
So I'm going to try to do this more often. But what was your album that you came back to the most of the 4?
Oh, I mean, only because it's the thing I'm listening to mostly right now, but Femtanol mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably split between Souvlaki and The River North.
Yeah. I would say split between Femtanol and Loveless.
Okay, we pick completely different ones. It's awesome.
Completely opposite.
Hell
exactly,
yeah. All right. Awesome. Excellent. Fuck yeah, man. All right.
Hell yeah.
So, hey, I have a suggestion for next time if you're down for it.
Yeah.
So we talked a couple podcasts ago about we haven't listened to Minus the Bear in a while. I was thinking we could do another treat ourselves, listen to albums that we both like from the past. I want to do Minus the Bear. I want to do Highly Refined Pirates, and I also want to do the first Mew album, which is, God, was it like a Triumph for Man or something like that? Yeah, Triumph for Man.
Oh, okay, sure.
Do you want to do that?
Sure, I like that idea.
All right.
Let's do it. I'll have to think of some two guilty pleasures.
Yeah, blast from the past. Hit me with it. Fuck yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
All right. Excellent.
Cool.
We did it. Another podcast.
In the bag.
Fuck yeah. Please like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
See ya.